Good morning, everybody. Jason and I managed to get online together this morning to bring you the daily energy report. Jason, I'm not even sure I want to do this morning, but I think people are depending upon us to sort of read the energy. And yet the energy is a little bit whacked out. How about a lot whacked out?
How about so whacked out that yesterday an application which hitherto has never hung us up on an iPhone, which is always the best, to be honest with you, the technology that always seems to work at least, all of a sudden wouldn't work. Did the updates, wouldn't work. 24 hours today, now it's working. So it's weird. All those people out there that are feeling like it's a Mercury retrograde, believe me, Janet and I were just talking about it right before we got on the air. Like yesterday, communication screwed up, traffic screwed up, electronic things screwed up. It was like,
crazy. Well, I would have to say yesterday, there was a lot of emotional energy out there, obviously, and from the night before. And, Jason, you're the one that told me the news yesterday morning. I hadn't even heard it. I think I probably had gone to bed about 10:30 or 11, but missed somehow hearing about it before I went to bed, which is a good thing because then I would never have slept that night.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and let's see, Vegas is on West Coast time, so it would have been happening at the same time I was getting ready to go to bed. And craziness, in the world, and that emotion of terror and anxiety, it leaves a mark in the energetic signature for the planet. And you didn't have just like one or two souls being ferried across. You had more, like in this case 59 people have died, 500 and some people injured. But how many thousands of people were at that concert and in that terror of being shot or being picked off by this shooter? So that's a lot of juice running around. And is it any wonder things were glitchy yesterday? For those people who are out there and are sensitive, it was big time bad.
It's horrible. And I heard somebody say something yesterday on this sorry to be disrespectful to some people, this fucking Facebook thing. An old girlfriend of mine was writing how, she's just so torn up about this and President Trump's reaction, that there's no solidarity. He hasn't, provided a uniform front or support, blah, blah, blah. And underneath it, somebody wrote, hate to say this, guys, but have we forgotten about Puerto Rico? And, it's pretty interesting because it's been chaos after chaos. I mean, at the end of the day, in many ways, if you look at the atrocity, it's impossible to compare them. But these people in Puerto Rico, they have nothing. It's like, oh, wow, holy cow.
It's a huge humanitarian crisis there, definitely.
Decimated. On the other hand, you look at this horrible mass karmic debt, mass karmic scenario, and you say to yourself, well, at least their loved ones don't, have a house to go home to. You get, I mean, isn't that kind of a weird thing? And then me, here I am. All I want to do is grieve Hugh Hefner. And all these catastrophes keep coming up, and I don't get.
And now Tom Petty. Oh my gosh. And Monty Hall. I was going to wear the "Let's Make a Deal" sign on my forehead, but I thought it was, humor is probably, probably not the best
thing today. Humor is excellent in any occasion. Humor is excellent. Do not abandon it. And this is something that I'd like to say to all of our listeners and followers out there. Okay, I got it. Freedom of speech. Message understood. I went to grammar school in the good days when you had to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Right. Right. I get it. I would like to urge all of my Argonauts and all of the followers of Janet and myself, be very careful what kind of venom you are spitting into the social media. Just like there are mass karmic debts and there are mass karmic deaths, we have to be careful when we collude as a society. We have to be really careful when we collectively get into that negative speech. No one here is saying don't be helpful. No one here is saying don't donate. No one here is saying don't, be a helpful force. But be careful what kind of mass hysteria and or mass negativity we're dealing with, because we start putting out that stuff as a collective force,
and it comes back at us.
I'm going to be looking into a bunker. Get my drift? You know, and so to be honest with you, Janet, I think things happened the way they were supposed to. I do not believe that we were supposed to. Did you go online afterwards? Because I didn't check, and do a reading for everybody? No.
No, but you know what? I had yesterday morning, I pulled the chart of the event, and I had actually picked the correct time for the shooting within like 3 minutes, so I knew the chart was pretty accurate. And and I can't find it this morning. It was sitting right here waiting for me to talk about, and now it's gone. So it's making me think, okay, there's probably something more for us to talk about. I know yesterday morning, at the time you and I were going to do our broadcast, the moon was going to be at 0 degrees of Pisces, which means it had moved out of the Aquarian energy that we had over the weekend. And yet, in the very last few degrees of Aquarius, we have well, first of all, Aquarius has 2 rulers, co-rulers, Saturn and Uranus. So here we have the idea in my head, anyway, that somehow something fritzed out in this person's brain. Something happened to this person. And, you know, we also had Venus and Mars kind of lining up, getting ready to conjunct, which they're going to be conjunct on the full moon on Thursday. Wow. Thursday. Just wow. Anyway, taking us to a point where maybe he wasn't feeling loved. Maybe he was feeling disillusioned with the world. Remember, going into the weekend, we had a Venus-Neptune opposition, and that was bringing us to this idea of higher love and compassion. And so it makes me think, reading into the event, perhaps there's some higher message here that we have yet to discern. And I think, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I think we're going to see that there was something that happened to him last week, because this seemed too planned. I mean, who has all these guns at hand in a hotel room? There are shots of him spending money, like gambling crazily, like he was trying to get rid of money or something before he left. So something I would guarantee happened. He felt marginalized in some way, and somehow that translated. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm just saying something translated into some horror. And I think we have to look at that as people, because this keeps happening, Jason. This isn't something small and just, you know, little that we can just keep passing off. There's something deeper, darker going on here that I think we've refused to look at. Maybe it's mental health issues. Maybe it's issues around guns. I don't know. I'm not.
While you were talking, the first thought that's in my head was, you know what? It's all fine and well, you know, to have the amendment to bear arms. I'm a big supporter of bearing arms. Big supporter, and I don't mean killing animals for no reason. I mean eating what you kill, making sure that you have the right to bear arms. Unfortunately, the wild card is mental stability. And our country is plagued with that. I let everyone know that I have workable levels of bipolar that I take pills for. I have no shame in it. Everyone can suck my ass, as they say about it, if they have their own. You know, I was listening to this song, and it was hysterical because, you know how you listen to Pandora?
Yeah.
And it'll play something that you think you like. And all of a sudden there's this little beat, and I hear this woman singing loud and clear in her little white girl voice. I've got bipolar disorder. My shit's not in order. And I mean, she continues to go down the line, and she's just like, hey, I'm cool with it. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who has an absolute psychotic break. And to me, that reads more of somebody having something holy shit hardcore in their chart that got triggered.
Big time.
Big time. The next question, of course, on a macrocosmic level is why are we bringing these lessons again of hate? We just had that thing where there was the nightclub and the gay club down, I think it was Florida, was it?
Florida, South Orlando, right. Florida, I think.
Right. And then you say to yourself, well, you should easily be able to see if anybody has a gun going into it. You mean to tell me that the brainiacs that have these theaters don't do any kind of surveillance in the surrounding, what do you call it, area to make sure that there are no direct line hits. I don't know. So every time we're going to use it as a learning curve. Well, I have nothing to say to anybody out there except I am truly, truly, truly sorry. One of the things, however, that we do know is that if these things do happen for a reason, what are we to glean from it? What are we to take away from that? Mass karmic death. They decided, hey, let's get out of here together. Whoopee! I don't know. I'm just thinking if I was going to manifest that, I'd be like, anybody got some Kool-Aid? Anyway, so...
Wait, I got in the wrong line. I meant to go that way.
I'm not trying to make light. Of course, this is a horrible, horrible thing, but I'm always going to be the person to sort of try and crack it with a little bit of humor, and it's almost impossible. I think that we will do this reading yesterday on purpose. I have about 5 more minutes for you, beautiful lady, before I go get myself cracked. So
they're doing a lot of crack-a-lacking on your back-a-lacka.
And I'm having less and less pain.
I love it.
I walk around with my shoulders down for the first time yesterday after 2 weeks of being adjusted. We got the lower lumbar to go. And it was like heavens opened up and the cherubims started to... I thought, oh my God, I've got tears in my eyes. This is crazy. So yeah, and I'm going to have that gentleman on my show very soon enough. And we're going to probably do something called, what do you call it, the chiropractic corner, as opposed to Christy's corner.
Christy's corner, the chiropractic corner.
Yeah.
The crazy corner. That'll come next.
Oh gosh. So I just picked a card.
Ooh.
Secrets and lies, folks. Every time you hear me say it, secrets and lies, secrets and lies, secrets and lies. We're going to find out some shit on this. So keep your shit on social media to a low roar. Don't give in to the negativity and everybody joining up on the bandwagon, creating more out there. Understand that there's stuff that we don't know about. We're going to be finding out secrets and lies very, very soon. And much past that, I don't know what you have in your energetic scenario.
Well, literally these couple of days there's not, we're not marred by any major transits, but, we're in the building mode, right? We're in the building mode to the Venus conjunct Mars, which will happen on Thursday in tandem with the full moon in Aries. That speaks to me of some, pretty strong energies that are available. The full moon in Aries means, again, of course, we're going to be looking at these issues of victim and savior. We cannot get ourselves disentangled from that. That full moon happens at 13 degrees of Libra and Aries, which is going to put it right about across from Neptune. So it's going to be a very Neptunian sort of full moon. We'll talk more about that on Thursday.
Oh, so when is full moon? Is tonight? No.
It's on Thursday, the 5th at 11:40 a.m.
Wow, it was pretty full, but I never really know.
It was beautiful last night. It was really a beautiful moon, but it was in the dark. The what do they call that? The disseminating phase.
Couldn't tell you.
The dark part is that we can't fully see what it is that we are having revealed to us until we get to the full moon. And of course, we get there 2 days from now. So more on the story. That's the truth. And secrets and lies make sense. Jupiter's lining up to go into Scorpio. That ought to make up for some fun.
Yeah. Good.
So everybody stay cool, stay calm, stay in love, stay compassionate, and stay out of fear. That's about the biggest thing that I can say is stay out of fear. And if you're doing work on the other side, helping people cross over, helping people make sense of it, either side, bless you for the work you're doing. And much love and compassion to everyone who lost somebody. And we've lost some big names. Hugh Hefner, Tom Petty, Monty Hall. Jesus. Anyway.
Yeah, he's gone too.
He died too. Yeah.
He ascended, but that's beside the conversation. And just to wrap it up real quick at the end here, don't forget to tune in to Janet's show on Thursday, my show on Wednesday. I'm finishing up the star card, hopefully. And
I like the star card. I like that card.
It is. It's a lovely card. I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to have my friend Rachel Parker, your friend Rachel Parker, on. She's going to be doing some poetry for us that reflects the energy of this card. And
nice.
Past that, I forgot what you have on the chopping block this week.
We are probably going to dive deep into Saturn and its transit into Capricorn. What does it mean for us? We started it last week, finishing up the lessons around Saturn in Sag. And we are going to dive into what may be some really critical next few years. And I even hate to think about it, but as we move into Saturn and Capricorn in December. So stay tuned. We'll see you then.
Okay, day. Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you in the morning.